All right, hey guys, we'll go ahead and get started with today's Q&A webinar. So today we'll just kind of go through the questions and hopefully be able to provide you with a little bit more information, answer some common questions about the diet, the protocol, and if you have any additional questions that you would like to ask, make sure and submit those to me. Send those in via Messenger is usually the easiest way to get questions, or you can email those to me, text them to me, whatever you would like. I will answer you back personally usually, and then it's usually a good indicator that if you're lacking some knowledge about the diet or the protocol, that it's probably a good question to be shared here in this forum. So again, just going to go through the outline, hopefully answer any questions you might have. We'll try to keep it 20 minutes to 30 minutes today in the Q&A, and try to make these not too long with too much information. So again, what are the 4 phases of the diet, and why 4 phases? So basically with this protocol, we have 4 phases, and we just name them phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and phase 4. And what is each phase? So phase 1 is what's known as the loading or gorging phases. So phase 1 is days 1 and days 2. We take 2 days and we start to apply the cream the morning of the first day, and we start to eat to capacity for those 2 days. So there's a few things that we're trying to accomplish with the gorging days. And I know they can seem a little counterproductive when your goal is to lose weight and go on a diet. Why do we take the first 2 days and eat like pigs? And so there's a purpose behind this. One of the issues is you want to kind of spike your liver enzymes. So by increasing a lot of fats during those 2 days, we're going to kind of elevate our liver enzymes, and then we're going to sneak the diet in on day 3 while those enzymes are elevated, and it kind of helps us get into the fat burning mode a little bit quicker. We also kind of look at this as kind of an opportunity to use the HCG kind of like a Trojan horse. So the Battle of Troy, y'all know the story of how they used the Trojan horse to get inside the gates, to then get in, unlock, and let the army come in and win the war, right? So the HCG with the 2 gorging days is kind of a good way to look at it, like a Trojan horse. We're going to apply the HCG. We're going to allow that to be coupled with a high calorie, high fat diet for 2 days. And you kind of look at it like it's going to take the HCG right into the fat stores. And so we know where to go find those fat stores and pull that out. Now, scientifically, it's probably not that easy or not that simple, but I think it's a good way of looking at it and trying to explain it in a kind of an everyday fashion, right? We're gonna get that HCG to where it needs to go, and we're gonna start pulling from those fat stores pretty quick. And again, the weight that you gain in those first 2 days is typically gone on day 3. If not day 4, you're usually back to your starting weight and even down a little bit. So, and you should expect to gain, a couple 5, 7, 10, 12 pounds those first 2 days. It should be a fair amount of weight just because of the additional water and bloat that you're going to get when you really go push the envelope a little bit. So, and again, my recommendations always, if you are going out to gorge those days, to try to utilize that to get in some extra healthy fats. Like go out of your way to get some fish oil, eat some salmon, get some avocado, get some olive oil, get some grass-fed butter. Those are great days to kind of really load up on heavy, healthy fats instead of like adding in a lot of inflammatory fats. And your weight might not go up as much as that, but again, you're going to accomplish what you want in a quicker amount of time and in a healthier route. So again, I would choose healthy fats for those 2 days. Really go out of your way to get a lot of those. And again, we're just trying to accomplish that purpose of elevating those liver enzymes, sneaking the HCG into the fat stores, and start to pull from there. So phase 2, that's phase 1, days 1 and 2. Phase 2 is days 3 through days 42. So 6 weeks basically of phase 2. And phase 2 is the low calorie phase of the diet. And so we're going to go on the approved food list, depending on which protocol you're on. And we're going to follow that religiously for 6 weeks. And the whole idea here is we're going to tap into that body fat stores and we're going to drain them, right? And again, this is the bulk of the diet. This is the active weight loss phase. And this is the secret sauce, the recipe, right? We're applying our HCG 3 times a day. We're eating to the protocol list. We're doing our daily checklists on the website, uploading our daily weight, and we're just watching the fat and the pounds melt away. And this is phase 2. Again, the bulk of the weight loss period, the 6 weeks of the weight loss period, is phase 2, and that is the low calorie, it's the active weight loss phase, is phase 2. So phase 3 is what we call maintenance. So we're going to establish our new weight set point, and we're going to get our calories back up to a healthy level. We're going to add in some new foods, see how well we do, and we're going to, again, the goal for the next 3 weeks, which is phase 3, so it's 3 weeks. So it's the last 3 weeks of the program is the maintenance phase. We're going to teach our body that we're happy at our new weight, right? Because the body works off weight set points. So the body will tend to get to a certain point and hold it for a while. And then depending on our environment, our circumstances, our eating habits, those things, it will increase that or it will decrease that to a new weight set point, establish homeostasis, and again, stay there for a while. So when we go on a diet, we start at a weight set point. When we bring that down, we want to reestablish a new weight set point, teach our body that that's our new happy place so that we don't go right back up or even farther back than where we were. This is that yo-yo dieting, right? So the whole idea behind the maintenance phase is to take our new weight loss and maintain it for 3 weeks. And this kind of helps establish that new weight set point with our body. And so there's certain foods that are allowed, certain foods that are still not allowed, again, just to maintain that new weight set point. I'll probably do Wednesday's webinar this week on phase 3 maintenance because it's pretty crucial. And there's a lot of science and kind of a process to going through it the right way. And I typically will meet with each of you as you get close to phase 3, but it's probably a good idea to get all those into one webinar and make sure as you get closer, you have that opportunity to go through that. But again, just a brief outline, phase 3 is the next 3 weeks. And then phase 4 is life after HCG, right? Life after our keto HCG protocol, our protocol, like this is my new lifestyle moving forward. So we want to make sure we take the good things that we've learned through the protocol and kind of implement or make sure we've established good habits, good lifestyle changes to maintain that new weight in a healthy way. And again, that's the purpose of these webinars, these Q&As. We're trying to lead with education here so that as you go through the diet, you are not just losing weight, but you're kind of gaining education on why we do what we do, and then how to transition or implement that into like a sustained lifestyle. The protocols we use in our protocols are not sustained lifestyles, right? You cannot live the rest of your life on these protocols. They are a tool to lose a lot of weight really quick, and then we need to transition into something more sustainable. And so that's what phase 4 is kind of that sustained lifestyle where we can maintain our new weight, and we can do it every day, week to week, month to month, year to year, as we move forward. And so again, I really want you to understand that that's what we're trying to accomplish with these different phases. Is again, we want to take off a lot of weight in a short amount of time. We want to educate, and we want to change some habits, some lifestyle changes, so that when you come out the other end of this diet, that you transition into more of a sustained lifestyle. So again, that's the purpose behind these 4 phases. So that is the phase question. What are the 4 phases, and what do they look like? And so again, phase 1, days 1 and 2, gorging. Phase 2 is the diet, low calorie phase. Phase 3 is the maintenance phase for 3 weeks. Phase 4 is, okay, you're done with the protocol, now what? So those are the 4 phases of the diet and protocol that we use here at Sun Valley Medical Weight Loss. So, okay, HCG application guidelines. When should I take my HCG and why? And what does that look like? So, so I don't know if many of you may have done HCG in previous to doing HCG with us here at Sun Valley Medical Weight Loss. I did HCG a couple times prior to us opening the clinic here, and I did the injections, and I tried the oral drops as well. The injections I did pretty well with, other than they were painful and not fun. Not fun at all. Very intrusive, very, when I did the injections, we did them with, they came with the B12 that you mixed in with the syringe, and then you shot yourself in the belly with those. And every time I did that, I'd get a red inflamed spot on my belly where I was injecting. And even though it was effective, it was just not fun just to do that. The drops never worked for me, and there's a reason why. The drops are not, they do not contain HCG typically. I was buying HCG over the counter because the injections had worked so well for me. I was buying HCG over the counter, and it, before I got the education, it did not have the hormone in it, right? So I was hungry, I was irritable, I wasn't getting the results that I did previously, and just didn't work well for me. So the cool thing about the HCG that we use is it is a topical cream. So it is in the little TopiClick dispenser. It's compounded to the right dose. And it's a fairly high dose of HCG. It's 125 milligrams per dose. You're doing that 3 times a day. So you're getting almost 400 milligrams of HCG in a day. And so when I was on the injections, it was closer to 200 a day. So it's almost double the amount you're getting. We do it on the underarm, usually where you put your cream, and then it absorbs through the dermis into the body, which is great because it doesn't go through like digestive system. It can get right into the bloodstream, right into the body through the dermis, gets absorbed like a hormone should, and is very effective. So it's a great cream. Most hormones, most bioidentical hormones are creams, testosterone, estrogen, those kind of things. Again, to avoid going through the digestive system, going through um, other areas of your body, your immune system, those kind of things. So again, and doing it 3 times a day. So we suggest, when you get up in the morning and then at lunch and then at dinner, they don't have to be those times a day. Those are just good reminders to take it 3 times a day. HCG stays in your body for about 3 days. So it's not like if you forget, you're going to run out or not have the benefit or the effect. But the timing helps to kind of keep an even dose of the hormone as we go throughout the day. And what I found with it is it kind of helped keep my appetite suppressed during the whole day. I didn't have the swings like when I was doing the injections, because the injections, you do them and then you'd be pretty good. Towards the end of the day, you might start getting a little hungry. But with the cream and the application 3 times a day, we've eliminated all of that. It's just a nice steady dosage of the cream, and works really well. So again, it's very potent, very non-intrusive, great product. I think it's the best product on the market as far as any kind of HCG or being administered. It's I think the best product on the market. So we're very lucky to have the compounding pharmacy. We're very lucky to have access to that and be able to use pharmaceutical grade HCG and use it in a form that is bioidentical and very available for the body and is easy to absorb and really get all the benefits that we're looking for. So the HCG that we use here is phenomenal. So, and very effective, great dosage, wonderful product. Can't say enough good things about the HCG that we use. It's top of the line. So again, it comes with vitamin B12 already mixed in there. That's what gives it the pinkish color with the cream. And again, that's for additional energy and really helps with when you're on the HCG diet. So it's a 2-in-1 combination, works really well. And again, it's a fabulous product, so you can't do any better than that. So water intake, why so much water? And again, we do those water outlines. We want to make sure you're getting at least a gallon of water every day. And again, most of your body's made up of water. Water helps to flush out the fat. Water helps to just prime your body to be in an optimal state. And we want to make sure we're just hydrating really well. Part of the issue is when you go on a low carbohydrate diet, like the protocols that we use here, is your body will just, it no longer needs to hang on to so much water. For every gram of carbohydrate you eat, your body holds 3 grams of water. So when we're not eating that much carbohydrate, our bodies don't require require the additional storage of water. Okay, we want to be using water, and that's why we want to make sure we're upping our water intake, not lowering it, because the water is going to be going through your body a lot quicker. And so you want to make sure we're really upping the water intake. Another good suggestion with that is to take a little bit of pink Himalayan salt, add it to your water, like a half a teaspoon every time you're drinking, to a teaspoon, depending on, the taste and if you like that or not. But that adds a lot of really good trace minerals that we also tend to lose, a lot of electrolytes when we go on the low carbohydrate diet. So just make sure you're hydrating really well. A gallon of water a day kind of as a minimum. Men, you should be more to like 1.5 to 2 gallons a day. and really pushing the envelope with the hydration. Again, you might be going to the bathroom a lot, but you're going to feel so much better. So keep the hydration up. What are the HCG approved sweeteners? So we use stevia, xylitol, erythritol, swerve, which is also like erythritol, and monk fruit, or they're kind of the approved all-natural sweeteners. So those are the ones that are okay. Those are sweeteners that you would find in nature. They're not processed, they're not manufactured, they're not sugar. They're not going to spike blood sugar, elevate blood sugar. And so those are why they are the approved sweeteners. Again, stevia, xylitol, erythritol, swerve, if you're baking, monk fruit, those are the approved sweeteners. So there's some other good ones as we get into phase 3 that you can use sometime. A little bit of honey, maple syrup, some of those things. But again, you really don't want to go too far beyond this list. I think even in phase 4 of your life, if you stick to the natural sweeteners, you're going to, again, eliminate 60-70% of the problematic foods. So again, these are the approved sweeteners, and they are awesome. Exercise is a common question we get on the diet. If you're exercising, make sure and talk to me about, what we're doing. Typically, we'll touch base with you to try to get an idea of, what your daily routines look like. If you're weight training, we want to add a little bit of protein, depending on the protocol you're on. If you're on the basic, yes. If you're on the advanced, no. If you're on the advanced, we're meeting all of your needs, typically with anything and everything you can think of. So, but if you're on the basic protocol, the basic HCG, and you are exercising, either resistance training, or you're really pushing some limits on your cardio, you're putting in, 4 or 5 miles in a day, we need to address that and make sure we're modifying your calorie intake to make sure your body's not going into a starvation mode every day. So if you are exercising while on the protocol, make sure we've discussed that. Make sure we've got a individualized plan for you based on, again, what kind of exercise you're doing, what time of day you're doing it, how hard you're going. All of those things factor into this equation. And so that's part of why I'm here, is to help you with that. We typically, if you're resistance training, want to up your protein a little bit, but that's typically, all that I will suggest we up. Not going to go into upping more carbohydrates or things like that. But again, it's kind of unique to everybody. So if you are getting your workout on, make sure we're talking about it, discussing it, and coming up with an individualized plan for you on that. So I think that's probably good for today. We'll go over some other recommendations in that later on this week. Again, I think we'll spend Wednesday on phase 3, the maintenance protocol, what that looks like, going over that. And we will talk to you later. Thanks, guys. Bye.